This is not a dictatorship. This is the democracy. We shouldn't have one person from high, even though she's a colleague of mine, think that she can anoint whoever is elected to Congress. That's not what democracy is all about.
So you just saw there Elliot Engel, the high-ranking establishment congressman of New York's 16th congressional district, claiming that AOC's endorsement wasn't just an endorsement, that it was an anointment, that she is undermining democracy by endorsing his opponent. I don't think so. Well, regardless, he's going to have to add another name to that list. You can see here Bernie Sanders is lining up with AOC to challenge Elliot Engel, the high-ranking, the high-ranking incumbent in New York 16th congressional district. Bernie Sanders endorsing Jamaal Bowman. Now, this is interesting for a number of reasons. Not only are we starting to see progressives really coalesce behind Jamaal Bowman, it tells us that Elliot Engel is clearly weak, right? To see this many progressives lining up so quickly around Elliot Engel shows that Elliot Engel is incredibly weak. And not just that, we have some other breaking news here. Chuck Schumer is holding off on an endorsement of Elliot Engel. And you can see here this quote from the article here. "I haven't endorsed in this race because I'm busy with other Senate races." Now, this is clearly an excuse because he has endorsed Elliot Engel every other time that he's run. Right? He's like, "Oh, I'm focusing on the Senate races. That's why I'm not doing House endorsements right now." But guess what? That's not the case because he has endorsed Elliot Engel every other time that he's run, but this time he's holding off. You want to know why? I played this video in a recent video, maybe a week ago or so. I'll play it again. But Elliot Engel was caught on a hot mic saying, "Well, I wouldn't really care about the Black Lives Matter protest if I didn't have a primary challenge." So here is that clip.
Didn't go down the list, and it's just too many folks here.
I didn't have a primary, I wouldn't care.
Say that again?
I didn't have a primary, I wouldn't care.
Don't do that to me.
I wouldn't care if I didn't have a primary challenge. Wow, that was a hot mic moment if there ever was one. That is like, that is the classic example of something to not get caught saying on camera on a hot mic. That is a terrible thing to get caught saying, and it is exactly why why we're starting to see so many people line up. It was right after that hot mic that we got AOC's endorsement, and then a few days later we got Bernie Sanders' endorsement. And also, the thing that we have to consider here is, a few months ago, 3 months ago, honestly, yeah, this seat may not have been in play. 3 months ago, yeah, Jamaal Bowman may have gotten 39, maybe 40% of the vote if that's when the election was held. But no, this election is in June. And that's why things are so different. Because 3 months ago was a different world. 3 months ago, we didn't have coronavirus. 3 months ago, we didn't have hundreds of thousands of Americans on the streets protesting for racial justice. 3 months ago was completely different. The world has changed, and now is an opportunity to put in a real progressive in New York's 16th congressional district. Right now is an opportunity for real change. Right now is a time to change things. 2020 is a year for the history books, and so is this race in New York's 16th congressional district. There was a headline about this not too long ago here. Can Jamaal Bowman be the next AOC? Now that's of course a bit of a head-grabbing title here, but there's some truth to it here. Elliot Engel, chairman of the Foreign Affairs Committee, a high-ranking member of Congress, possibly in line for the speakership. Certainly a top pick. I don't know that quite as in line as some other people, but certainly he's in line for the speakership. He's a high-ranking member of Congress, and for Jamaal Bowman, for progressive to take him out, would show the strength of the movement. Because, also 3 months ago, what I didn't mention when I was talking about coronavirus and Black Lives Matter, 3 months ago, it looked like the progressive movement was down and out. 3 months ago, we had Super Tuesday, and things seemed really damned and devastating. But since then, we've really seen an insurgence of the progressive movement across the board. We've seen progressives picking up seats. We're starting to see the numbers go up. We're seeing hundreds of thousands of people on the streets protesting for radical demands that 3 months ago would have seemed insane. 3 months ago, you even mentioned defund the police. You would have been laughed out of the room. Now it's at least being considered. Now look, whatever your opinion on that, whatever, right? But my point here is this. Right now is an opportunity for change. Right now, we have an opportunity to get in a real progressive and take out this establishment figure. Because again, you saw there, even the establishment is like, I don't know about Elliot Engel. That hot mic moment, you know, he's probably going to lose and it could hurt me. Chuck Schumer, what's that analysis there? Chuck, because how hard is it to put out an endorsement? Literally just tell someone who works for you, hey, just write up this little, 2-paragraph thing. It'll take 30 minutes at most, and then we'll put it on Twitter. That's it. That's all an endorsement takes. That's all an endorsement is. To say, oh, I'm focused on my race. Come on, it takes 30 minutes to put out an endorsement at the very, if you wanted to do the bare minimum. But he's not doing that. Why? Because he knows that if he endorses Elliot Engel, there's a good chance that he's going to lose. There's a good chance that Elliot Engel is going down this time around. And so Chuck Schumer doesn't want to go down on the ship with Elliot Engel. He knows that it could hurt him. He knows that he could get hurt if he goes with Elliot Engel. And that's why progressives have a chance this time. And that's why I think we have at least a real chance of winning this thing. So let's go. I'll put Jamaal Bowman's information down in the description if you want to check him out, learn a little bit more about him, and consider donating. But for now, if you did like this video, I'd appreciate it if you hit the like button and consider subscribing. Thanks.